Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank the members of the panel for coming here this morning and helping us through this important conversation about an issue that is of primary importance to my district. I represent the central part of Washington State. Many of these dams that we're talking about if they're not in my district, they certainly impact me directly. And so I want to thank everybody and everybody on the committee too, their interest in helping to solve this important issue. And certainly to welcome one of my constituents, Mr. Heffling. Appreciate your coming here and talking directly from your knowledge of these matters. He has an extensive background that I think is very important to this conversation, and thank you for that, as well as everyone else that brings their expertise this morning. So one of the drawbacks of being the last one to ask questions is that a lot of things have been asked already. They're very important, but just to I guess underscore some of the points that have been made. We all know that there's been a tremendous amount of scientific research that has gone into the successful passage of fish through dam structures, monitoring processes, lots of technologies that have increased the survival rates for these listed species, particularly in the Columbia River system. So, Mr. Heffling, could you, you've already made the point that, that I think you said that dams and salmon can coexist. I think several people have made that point this morning. Could you, I guess I'd like to give you the opportunity to talk a little bit more about this ongoing debate that we have this morning about the 97% or 95 or 98% survival rate that we're experiencing right now that demonstrate to me the very successful coexistence of the fish in the dams. Is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk, with all due respect to Ms. Hamilton, about increasing spill, and I kind of chuckle at that because we already have spill incorporated into the current biop. And I talked previously about supersaturation of nitrogen into the water. Right. Well, this has a cumulative effect through each of the dams that spill water. So right now, even though we are ordered to spill water for some augmentation and fish passage, we are limited by that dissolved gas is measured by the agency. And so we are limited our spill to where our dissolved gas levels are at. So even if there was some kind of order to increase spill, it couldn't be done without being incredibly dangerous to the fish. So I don't understand where some of this increased spill comes from, but it's not what works. The increase in fish survival has been multifunctional. It's been barging. It's been fish screens in the intakes of the turbines. It's been RSWs that they're actually a simple device. They're not Rube Goldberg at all. They're very expensive devices, but they've been successful. So it's not spill that has really increased the survival rate. It's all the ways that we have improve the structures to pass fish, plus I'm a power plant operator myself and have to abide by the fish passage plan, which is based on the biop. So everything we do, whether what generator we start, at what level we run the generation, what spill we're at, all of this is according to this fish passage plan. It's meant for increased survival of fish. So we are doing everything possible to maintain that.
You know, the crux of the question here is the current biological opinion. Just for the record, would you agree that the current biop is working, that it's vital in order to support the federal Columbia River power system, and as well as allowing salmon to continue recovering at their record rates that we see?
Oh, I would definitely agree that biop is what has actually worked, and that's why we have an increase in returns.
Good, appreciate that. And you know, there still are people talking about removal of the dams, particularly the Snake River dams. Could you talk a little bit from your experience as what it would take to replace these dams and as far as power generation, perhaps more nuclear, perhaps what other kinds of things that might be necessary?
Yeah, it's been just the lower Snake River dams. It would probably take 2 nuclear, maybe 3 coal-fired, 6 gas-fired power plants just to replace the annual power production. For peaking capacity, you're talking about 3 nuclear, 6 coal-fired, or 14 gas-fired power plants to provide just that peak capacity. But, you know, these dams are more important than just what they can generate annually or whatever. They're one of these 4 plants are on the Snake River Columbia system are run under what BPA calls AGC, and that's automatic gain control. So peak power is not just a certain time of year, it's daily. When everybody gets up in the morning, turns their heat up, starts making their breakfast, the need for power rises way up there. In the evening, when people come home from work, they're already, you know. So that's what the main function of these dams are, is peak power. We go to full load in the morning, we go full load in the evening. You can't request wind, come on, blow harder because we need you right now. Right. And you can't say, well, come on, son, we need peak power right now. That can only be done by these type of projects.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. My time is up. I want to thank you for holding this hearing and also express my appreciation to Congresswoman McMorris Rogers for her main sponsorship of this bill, and look forward to working with you.
All right.